All right, guys, it's that time again, and I've got a huge new mix of gear to show you today. So hang out for a minute and check this stuff out. What's up, guys? Eric here with At Home in the Future, and I'm back with another gear update video, and I've got a lot of really cool things to show you today, including a whole new category of gear that we've actually never covered on the channel before. We'll cover some EDC gear and gadgets, some clothes and travel essentials, and even some fitness and health tech that I think are big upgrades that you're really gonna dig. As always, I've shopped around online and tried to find the best deals in this stuff, so if you see anything you like in the video, check the links in the description. I'll try to give you some coupon codes and stuff down there. But let's get this thing started by checking out some EDC gear and gadgets. So I know I say this pretty much every time, but I've been testing a really interesting mix of gear over the last month or two that I think you're really going to dig. Lots of cool stuff to check out this time. First up, I want to show you something that I just kind of discovered on a whim, but I'm fascinated with this little thing. I think you will be too. So this is called the Canary, and it's a little knife built with a very specific purpose, and that's just breaking down cardboard. So if you work at a place or just at home, if you're like us and get like shipments in almost every day from Amazon and all the other little subscription overnight stuff you may have, this little thing is awesome. So we have to break down boxes all the time to take out with our trash and everything. So not just opening up packaging, I'm talking about like actually like breaking down cardboard and flattening stuff. This thing just cuts through it like butter. I don't know what it is about it. It's got a tiny little serrations all throughout it, but you'll be shocked at how well this thing works, even versus taking like a normal nice knife. I'm about to show you a cool one here in a second, but this thing's just like a tiny little cardboard chainsaw I think you really dig, and it's only like $7. So if you're looking for like a budget recommendation of just some little tool to add to your kit that you really like, or just throw in the kitchen drawer, I think you'll really dig this thing. It's just a great thing to have around, especially if you're like me and just doing normal household chores like that. Worth checking out the Canary, very, very cool. As far as EDC lights go, I've got another budget option here for you. This is from Warsun. It's a brand on Amazon, and just kind of an inexpensive value light, charges with USB-C and everything. It's got a little port here on the side. It's not waterproof or anything, so you're missing out some more of the high frill features, but it does have a really cool thin profile, very light. It's got a pocket clip on here. Again, it's not going to win any awards for like maybe toughness or durability as far as that stuff goes. But as far as the light itself, you have a nice big flood beam here on the front, but this on the side is really what it's all about. It also has a magnetic base, by the way, but you can tack this onto stuff and get this nice floody beam, but this thing gets really stinking bright. Look at this, max brightness, just awesome little floodlight thing. It also has this very strange kind of a strobe mode that's almost like police lights, which honestly I've never seen on anything. I'm used to like red flashing lights, but the police lights is kind of a different thing, so I don't know if that's honestly even legal. But what makes this thing so great is it's only like, I don't know, 12 or 15 bucks or something on Amazon. Really inexpensive, USB-C rechargeable, great little all-around light if you're looking for an EDC light. Has a few tricks up its sleeve, worth considering. Fits in your pocket too, very, very thin, really nice for jeans, fifth pocket. So really good EDC option there. And another EDC option I want to show you is actually this ring I'm wearing right now. And so this is from a company called Gentlebands. We'll have to get some more up close shots so you can see this thing. I feel like the way people have thought about like wedding bands, or I guess just important rings you may wear, has kind of like changed. It used to just be like a gold band, even with guys. I remember like my dad had one that had some ornate flourishes and some other things embedded in it. Personally, I had like a titanium ring that I lost in the ocean a while ago, and I've just gone with like cheapo silicone bands or just various other rings over the years. But what makes these Gentlebands so great is just the variety of really cool metals and inlay options and stuff like that. So this one here is actually tungsten and meteorite, which is super cool if you're into space like me. But they also have all sorts of different things you can get, different like, there's some like glow-in-the-dark stones and stuff. I think they even have like fossils and dinosaur bones, which is kind of nuts, but really not all that expensive. Most of these things I think on their site are between $150 and $300 for a really nice looking ring, really well finished. Comes in cool packaging here, really nice presentation. All in all, if you're looking for, maybe you're getting married soon or just looking for something to replace kind of a plain Jane wedding band or something, I think you actually really dig these things. I'll put that back on to finish the video. So moving along, talking EDC stuff. When you think of EDC pocket knives, something we've covered like nonstop on this channel and everything, something you may not have thought of is actually carrying a fixed blade in place of like a regular folder. And that's where this awesome option from Big Idea Design comes from. Shout out to this company anyway. They're from Chattanooga, Tennessee. So you're watching this video, you're watching a video filmed in Nashville, Tennessee. So shout out to those guys, but I love this little thing. So again, fixed blades, you're normally thinking of big ones you're using for like bushcrafting and like, I don't know, chopping up trees and all sorts of things like that. But you rarely think A little EDC fixed blade. As pocketable and comfortable in your hands as this thing is. It's got jimping along the back. I'm pretty sure it's M390 steel, but can just take an absolute beating. Has titanium scales, really full tang the whole way down, really easy to disassemble and stuff. Has a great little sheath that's just made to go in your pocket. So it doesn't have a very big footprint at all. So you pop this in your pocket, really easy to get in and out, has just the right amount of retention in that sheath, and just pop your thumb down there. Feels great taking it in and out. The only thing I don't love about this, man, it's almost perfect. These clips on Big Idea stuff, this is a titanium clip, which is awesome. It looks great, but this thing is just tight as crap. The good news is it will stay in your pocket and hold its place, which is exactly what you want in a knife like this. But the bad thing is at the end of the day, getting it back out, it is a little bit of a booger. So I may try to replace that clip or do something down the line. I don't know, or maybe it'll wear in. But as far as carrying a fixed blade, this is a fantastic option, and really, you wouldn't think that you'd love a little fixed blade knife about this size, but it is so stinking handy just to grab and pull out. It also it doesn't look all that scary. You would think, okay, if I'm going to carry a fixed blade like out in public, outside of a campsite, people would probably kind of flip out about that. But this is just discreet enough where you can just get that in your pocket and just the handle sticks out a little bit. It doesn't look all that different than carrying a folder. Really dig this thing. Ultra high quality materials. These guys make awesome stuff. And speaking of some of their awesome stuff, maybe you're not a knife person, or maybe you're working on a different type of task where you typically have other stuff in your pockets besides that. And probably one of the #1 things you would have would be a screwdriver. And so this is a Big Idea Designs Bitbar II, and this thing is super, super cool. This is probably one of the most sleek and innovative takes on the idea of a screwdriver that I've seen. And like it says, Bitbar, you got these little bits in the side, silky smooth little mechanism, open and close it with those things. Comes with these. I'm sure you can get others and stuff too. Phillips flatheads, little Torx and square ones and stuff there. But you just pop your bit of choice out, close it back up. You have a little magnetic slot right there in the top to get your work going with that. Or it's got an angled head right there. And I think, of course, you can grab an extension to put in there too if you need something a little bit longer. But if you're the kind of work where you're constantly taking stuff down, assembling things, doing that sort of thing all day, this is just a great little pocket companion. And again, kind of the same size almost as the flashlight we talked about earlier. It's a really nice, if you have kind of a deeper fifth pocket on your jeans, it's great for that. Because of its slim profile, it just doesn't take up the same amount of space that some of the larger pocket screwdrivers can take. Now they also have a slimmer model you may have seen in a previous video of ours. That's almost more of a pin shape. This definitely has more options that you can carry within it and a bigger place to grip if you're doing more high torque type things. So definitely worth checking out. A really, really cool pocket tool. All right, so moving along, let's talk about some more gear for just like adventures and travel and stuff. We've mentioned a few battery banks in the channel. Check out this bad boy. So this is from the folks at AOHi. You may remember me covering one of their chargers a few months ago in my travel bag, which I really love those things. But this is their take on an ultimate compact battery charging station that has some really, really cool features. So first and foremost, this thing, even given its size, maybe about the size of a can of soda, definitely a little heavier because it's got some pretty thick batteries in this thing. But this is 40,000 milliamp hours and it can output a crap ton of power at once. I believe it can output up to maybe 140 watts or so. USB-A, 2 USB-C ports. Yeah. 140 watts out and everything. It does have a little OLED screen built into it, which will show you the power coming in, the power coming out through each port and everything. But the thing that makes this so awesome is, let's say you're on a road trip or working like in a mobile office situation, or even out in the field where maybe you just don't have a power plug by you. This thing can charge even a modern like big boy MacBook from 0 to like 100%, and they can charge it fast. So it's almost like having access to like a full power outlet all the time. It has AOHi's little charging indicator lights on it that show whether something is fast charging or regular charging or trickle charging. Just a pretty awesome travel companion. It is heavy, and so in my mind this is more for like car trips, road trips, camping and stuff, where you don't want to take like a huge thing, but it has all this power and a really compact package that I think is really worth taking a look at. So that's the AOHi Starship 40,000 milliamp hour battery. Very, very cool. Talking about a few more travel things. I have a few things to check out here from Matador, which if you've watched the channel for a while, you know I'm a fan of. One of my favorite things about their stuff is it's so small and compact and light, but it's there if you need it. And just like this thing, which you just throw in your bag, I mean, it can't weigh more than just a few ounces, very soft and very cushy. It is a sleep mask. This is kind of a new thing that they're offering now. It packs down in this tiny little pouch, but you have this really soft, very comfortable sleep mask here. Has a Velcro enclosure, so you're on the plane or you're trying to snooze in the airport when your flight's delayed or something. Totally block out a whole lot of light. Has a soft touch there in your face. It won't bother your nose or put pressure on you in a weird way or anything like that. And also has a little pocket here up top where you can stuff in some earplugs. Got a little pack of earplugs right there if you're into that sort of thing. I'm not really an earplug guy, but I think on like loud planes and stuff, it'd be nice, especially if you don't want to waste your headphone battery. It has a little strap where you can clip it onto your bag if you need it, but it kind of stuffs back down into itself, and then has a little fold-over flap that makes it super easy to just kind of stuff down your bag and forget about it until you need it. So awesome little thing there. Along those lines, they also have a new pill carrier that I've really dug. Again, tons of pill carriers and stuff out there in Amazon, all sorts of different kinds and everything. This one is just built like a tank while also being extremely light and also being totally waterproof too. So you have a slide out thing for up to 7 days. So whether you just want to put different medicines in each one to kind of sort things, or you actually want to put vitamins and that sort of thing throughout the trays here, just slides in, keeps things nice and organized, but also has these seals on both ends. So if your bag gets wet or you get in the rain or something like that, you're not going to have like weird soggy vitamin stuff all inside your bags. Very light, well built. Worth taking a look at if you're just looking for an upgrade in that department. And speaking of upgrades, I've been checking out some very cool gear from Gravel over the last few months. And I really want to recommend a few items here. So first off, Gravel's travel toiletry bottles. If you're looking for like the best possible reusable toiletry bottles, I think Gravel may have it here. At first glance, these may just look like your typical silicone bottle. Again, silicone's super easy to clean, exactly the right size for TSA. I think these are like 3 ounces each. But what makes these so special, have a really nice spout here in the top that makes stuff where you just squeeze and it comes out and doesn't just drip out or pour out during your flight where the pressure changes and stuff. But what I really dig about these, because I switch up my bottles quite a bit, is they have these labels built into the top where you can pull this off your bottle and then you can rotate this little lid and get whatever type of item that you're putting inside of these. Sunscreen, conditioner, lotion, just change the label on it on a whim, put the cap back on, and then just screw the lid back on. So really cool little trick with those. The other thing I really like about these is because of the unique shape. When you actually pack your bags with stuff, you can fit these together and use the most efficient use of, I guess, volume space you'd have inside your toiletry bag, which is exactly what you want. And speaking of toiletries, I'm really enjoying Gravel's toiletry kits as well. Really nice material on the outside, waterproof, can take a beating, really well made, has super nice zipper grips, which is just nice as far as quick opening and stuff goes, but opens up all the way wide open and everything. And you've got pockets in here that are thoughtfully designed and designed for specific items. So you have a toothbrush holder space right here that you can zip up and keep your toothbrush from getting gross. You have a spot right here that's just about perfect for deodorant and everything. It has a tiny little pocket built in, so if you have sensitive medicine or something you need to put in there, you can kind of stow that away and keep that a little bit secret. You have these little mesh things down here where you can see smaller items, and then a spot down here for like stuff like this, like toiletry bottles and things. But everything you need, nothing you don't. And the nice thing is too, you got a soft pouch here on the outside if you have glasses or anything that you need to keep where it's not going to get scratched up or beat up. But in this pouch right here, you have a little bit more storage, but also have a great hanging strap that's easy to take apart. So you can hang it from hotel mirrors, hang it from shower heads, whatever you need. This is just a very accessible, very straightforward, very well-designed toiletry bag. You need a little bit of a bigger one. My wife actually went with the larger size, which has a lot of the same features and pockets. You can see a similar layout there. It also has a wider spot here, which you can put, if you have like 3-on-1 type things you're trying to take on the plane, you can stow your clear bag for that stuff if you need to take that out for security. It's got a great spot for that there, or just bigger bottles and everything. And the same system on the outside where you can pull out the strap to hang stuff up or keep sensitive items here on the outside. So really thoughtfully designed, very compact toiletry bags that are just like a normal, very easily packable shape. Again, this is the slim model, so it's very easy to slide in a carry-on bag or backpack. So really, really dig that. And then last but not least, also from Gravel, if you get cold on the plane or cold at the airport, which I have to admit happens to me all the time, I'm cold-natured for some reason, they have this awesome travel blanket that cinches down into basically what ends up as a little travel pillow as well. But it has this strap on it. Pop this thing open, unroll it and pull your blanket out here. And then you have this super luxe, very thin material, but this very warm little blanket with pockets for your stuff, little places for your feet to go and everything that actually like will hold the blanket in place if you knock out in the plane. It's a slick material, so otherwise it'd probably fall off you. But you can cinch this thing around you and put your feet in it to kind of hold you in place. And then your whole flight, you're comfy and cozy, or if you're trying to snooze in the airport terminal because of a delay or something like that, Just a great companion to have. So more so than just throwing your jacket over yourself or just trying to kill time at the terminal, I think this thing is a total game changer, well worth checking out. All right, so let's switch gears for just a minute and talk fitness and health, because I've been testing out a few things this summer that I actually think may be the most interesting stuff in this video. And we'll start out with something that may actually be the most controversial item in the video, and that is the X3 bar system. So I don't know if you've seen this thing. I actually stumbled across it first on social media and YouTube and kind of rolled my eyes when I first heard about it, because the whole system makes kind of some crazy claims that you're supposed to be able to get 3 times the gains in only like 10 minutes a day using resistance bands in this bar. It seems really simple. It seems like it may be too good to be true, but I've been using this for almost a month now, and I have to tell you, man, it's kind of changed the whole way that I work out. So first, a really quick overview of what it is. It's basically this bar, 4 different really thick resistance bands of different sizes, and these aren't like the Amazon resistance bands you get. These are like big, thick ones. This one can go up to like 300 pounds. I think the smallest one that you start with has a maximum of resistance of like 50 pounds and stuff. And then you also have this kind of metal foot plate thing, which more or less you just put the bands under this during certain exercises to keep them from like slapping back and hitting you in the face. So good to have that thing. But the system is actually really simple. So all you do is take this bar. It's kind of like a really nice dumbbell bar, really high quality, has bearings on the inside. So all these things kind of pivot and go around. But you just slide your bands onto it, and then the people who make this give you like a really regimented schedule where you have 4 exercises a day that you kind of alternate between a pull day and a push day, and that's it. And they really do take me about, I don't know, 10 to maybe 15-minute tops, just depending on how many reps I'm doing and stuff. And if you're like me, those 10 minutes and like getting a lot of result claims sound pretty ridiculous. I've been doing lots of like body weight, calisthenic style stuff for ages now. I've got a cable gym that I use off and on that's been nice, but I've kind of hit the wall with that thing. And by no means am I like doing bodybuilder stuff or anything, but I would like to be in really good shape. But I have to tell you right off the bat that like just the results of using this thing over the course of the month, it gives you a little app where you can track things and see how many reps you're doing. But I've already doubled my strength since I started this, which is pretty insane. Like I can see pretty good results and everything too. But basically the whole idea is you just do those 4 exercises a day, but you do 1 set of each, and you do it to like complete fatigue where you can't do anymore. And just that is supposed to like really build up your muscles and everything else. But like really digging the system, so much so I'm probably actually gonna sell my cable gym, which I can't believe I'm saying. But if you're on the fence about trying something like this, if you've seen it on social, go check out all the reviews and stuff on YouTube. If you've tried it or do something similar, let me know in the comments, because I'm really curious about it. This thing has like totally changed the way I work out, and I actually can't recommend it strongly enough. Really, really enjoy it. It is expensive, brace yourself for that. But it's high quality stuff, high quality materials and everything else. I think you'll enjoy it if you're into trying to exercise at all. All right, so health upgrade number 2, this is the Withings Body Scan Smart Scale. And it's like a whole doctor's office that pretty much lives in your bathroom. I've really been digging this, especially as I've tried to track my progress from using the X3 bar and stuff. This does all the normal smart scale things that you normally expect. So checking your weight, checking your vital signs like your heart rate and all that stuff. It uploads all that to the cloud. But what makes this thing really special is all the other stuff it does. So it has a whole bunch of other sensors in it and stuff too. It actually has this bar that you can pull up while you stand on it. So you can just stand on it and get your weight. You can pull up the bar and it'll check your body composition and everything, and that includes like your fat mass, your muscle mass, but even it segments it throughout your body. It uses these different sensors in the bar to tell you how much is in your arms and your legs and your torso, so you can keep tracking all that on a really cool basis. It has a screen built in the top, but probably my favorite thing here is when you hold this bar for a long time at the end, it's actually a 6-lead ECG as well. So it checks the health of your heart through a lot of different pathways in your body. It can check the health of your arteries and stuff as well. It checks like the sweat glands in your feet, which I think somehow regulates stress or is a sign of stress or something like that. But just all sorts of different features in this thing. There's no subscription fee or anything like that. Syncs with all your favorite health apps. It even has like a blind mode if you don't want to see those things every day, but you want those things to be tracked. This has been an awesome little health companion that I kind of don't want to live without now that I've had it. Definitely check these out. This is the white version. There's a dark version too if you're into that, but really dig this thing. All right, my third and final health upgrade to recommend today are these like gummy vitamin things from Gruns. So again, if you've been on the health side of the internet at all, you've probably seen all sorts of ads and all sorts of like endorsement and promotions for green powders, stuff like AG1, all these superfood powders and everything like that. Lots of opinions out there whether or not those actually do any good. A lot of them taste pretty bad. These Gruns are pretty interesting, something I stumbled across. They actually have a lot of health benefits kind of jammed into one singular product, so that you can get them in a big bag like this. You can subscribe to them. But not only are they like a supercharged multivitamin, you don't need to take a normal multivitamin if you have these. They have a whole list on the back of all these essentials that you get inside of this. But basically it's just like a little pack of green gummy bears. You can get them with a tiny bit of sugar or sugar-free. I went with sugar-free, but it's the extra benefit these things have to them that make them pretty compelling. So not only are you getting the multivitamin stuff, not only are you getting your greens, but they're also giving you like prebiotics and all this gut health stuff, all these things to boost immunity. Then they claim like collagen support, or just, I don't know, just a huge laundry list of things that you're getting kind of like in one little thing. It's just 8 little gummy bears that actually taste pretty good that you eat every day. So if you're looking for like a supplement that's just to boost your general health, maybe you're not eating enough vegetables, maybe you need more fiber, maybe you're looking at like separate pills for all these things, but just want to get it all in one. I've kind of been digging these. I've been on these for about a month now. Feel pretty good and everything. Can definitely notice them as far as digestion goes and all the benefits that come alongside of that. But pretty easy daily routine. Instead of taking a whole bunch of pills and everything, just eat some really good gummy bears that are good for you. Check those out. If you're considering something like AG1, I think this is probably a better option. All right, so clothes, travel essentials, and shoes. We'll kick things off with one of my favorites recently, and that is these awesome Layover 2.0 pants by Roark. If you've watched any of our previous videos, you may have seen me reference these a few times. They're built for travel, but I actually wear them all the time at home and everything. This material they have, it's like a stretchy canvas stuff that's really nice. Kind of lots of colors. Have a drawstring close, button stuff and everything, a little perforated panel on the back. I've really enjoyed these, but I've noticed they've come out with a new version of these, which they just call the Layover Traveler Pants. So these are 2.0, technically these are 3.0, but check these things out. So at first glance, they look very similar. I got this kind of cool olive green color, but you'll notice a few little upgrades and tweaks they've made to the pants overall, which I'm actually really digging. The pockets are a little bit shorter. The old ones had really deep ones that were made for like storing travel documents, but these are just kind of normal size pockets. Still have the drawstring closure and everything. Big change on the back. The perf panel looks a little bit more like regular fabric, and the buttons on the pockets and stuff are actually built in to the pants themselves, which makes them a little bit less likely to grab onto stuff and everything. Also, kind of a big deal as far as mobility goes. They have a gusseted crotch sewn into the pants themselves, which gives you a wider range of motion. I never found the old ones that hard to like move around in, or I don't know, just go adventuring in, but these are basically built for it. Still the same material and everything. I feel like they're cut just like maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10% slimmer. But still really love these. Comes in lots of different colors and styles and stuff. Kind of my go-to travel pant with all the features and everything you'd want out of a pant like that. Really versatile, really comfortable, so dig those. And as far as everyday goes, these EDC pants from Proof have almost taken the place of like jeans as my go-to like everyday pant. Lots of different colors. You can kind of get whatever color or style you like. Just look like normal pants at the outset, but have a lot of like little designs and features that if you're into carrying stuff or pocket knives or gear or anything like that, it's kind of like wearing a pair of cargo pants that doesn't look like a pair of cargo pants, which is my favorite thing. Love the pocket cut. You can easily get your hands in and out of the pocket, unlike that little curved thing you normally see on jeans. Typical pockets on the back, but if you notice, they've got a slot here where you can put a knife, a slot on the other leg, kind of built the same way, where you can slot in a knife or a flashlight. They've got an extra pocket here in the front that's zippered if you want to use it. I don't really use that one all that much, but it's nice to have it if I need it. It does have this little tassel here. I've got another pair where I've taken that tassel completely off, but really love these. Also has a little secret hidden pocket here. And of course, if you like that fifth style pocket that's featured in some jeans, it has a really deep version of that. So pockets galore. Looks like normal pants. Really love these. Definitely check those out if you're into EDC stuff at all. Speaking of Proof, you guys know how much I love just their everyday Merino t-shirts. These are awesome for travel. I've ended up kind of wearing them all the time this summer. So if you've watched the channel, you've heard me go on and on about Merino before. Easy to care for, don't have to wash it very often at all. It doesn't hold smells and everything. Which makes it great for travel. Moisture wicking and all that. The reason why I've loved these this summer, they're actually really temperature regulated and everything, really comfortable to wear. But my favorite thing is if you're spending a lot of time like outside in a deck or around a fire pit and stuff, they just don't hold on to smells. So if you're out in the middle of the day, getting lunch somewhere in a patio, when you go back into work and you're inside and stuff, you just don't smell like outside. So it's a really nice upgrade. If you haven't picked up some of these yet, you definitely need some of those. But probably the biggest question I've had from you guys as far as like recommending like travel clothes and gear and stuff like that is a lot of the stuff I recommend tends to be like really casual, but like what if you need something that's a little bit nicer, maybe something that's a little bit more dressed up that you can go out to dinner in, or a little bit more like businessy type stuff. So I've got a few options for you today. So I mentioned the t-shirts. Proof also has really awesome Merino polos. So they've just kind of revamped these. I think the old version had 2 buttons and the new version has 3 buttons, but really like these. The color's great, fits really nice and everything. Not too tight, not too loose, but all those same qualities we just talked about that you like to see in like a Merino shirt or Merino clothes and stuff. But really nice for summer. Nice for cooler weather too, eventually when we go into the fall season and stuff. Merino kind of keeps your temperature regulated and everything, but really like having these. Nice to pack up. Again, if you keep these in the carry-on and stuff, it doesn't take anything to get any sort of wrinkles out. You just kind of pull in the fabric and stuff and you're good to go. So yeah, definitely great for travel or dressier stuff. Along those lines, I also want to recommend Relwen's Flyweight blazer. So if you're the type of person that typically wears like a hoodie or some other sort of light jacket and everything, this is another kind of like step up from that. It's actually really cool. So when I think like a blazer, I think of like something like super hot, hard to take care of and everything. And this thing's like totally the opposite. It's machine washable, very, very light, kind of a thinner material. It'd probably keep you warm if you really need it for that, down to 50 or 60 degrees, I don't know, but also nice for summer. So if you're going to any sort of nicer event or again, going to get dinner or something somewhere, really flexible, really versatile. You can pop the collar, which is actually the look that I think looks the coolest and everything, but if you need that classic blazer look, you can just fold it down. Looks good with that polo, looks good with just a t-shirt and stuff. Really nice option, especially if you want this type of look without getting like crazy hot, or something you can actually travel with where you're not having to take like a garment bag. This is a pretty cool option. So kind of on that same wavelength, is really hot outside. You want to stay casual, but maybe flip-flops are a little bit too casual. These mules from Luca are actually a pretty great option. Got really nice leather and stuff on top, so look a little bit classier and everything. Keep your feet all covered up. Really, really squishy kind of cork sole, which is very comfortable. And this like, I don't know, this thick like ground rubber material all along the bottom makes for a super comfortable shoe. But they look just a little bit dressier, a little bit nicer. So again, if you're going out to dinner, humidity's up, but you need to like dress a little nice or something like that. These are a great, like still pretty casual option that just looks classier that you may want to consider. I think they look pretty cool and they're actually a lot more comfortable than you probably expect them to be. Last but not least, tennis shoes. So if you watched my last video, you saw me go on and on about these trail runners from On. So these are the Cloud Surfers, and I just really dig whatever sort of magic On has going with like the pattern in the bottom of these. It's just extra squishy. Kind of feels like you're walking on trampolines. If you need a more rugged version, I've really dug these Cloudhorizons. So similar shoe, a little bit tougher build in the top. It's not just like an all mesh upper, but actually has a little bit more stitching and stuff, and a little bit more of a ruggedized bottom. But man, you just can't get more comfortable than this series from On. The foam they use in these and the way they have the cutouts and stuff is just super supportive for your foot. So if you're doing anything, exploring trails, exploring cities and stuff, walking around theme parks, any of that normal stuff you may find yourself in, this whole line from On is just a super awesome everyday shoe that's kind of replaced. I used to love the Cloud Vistas. These have replaced those in my mind as like my go-to pair of Ons that I'm gonna wear if I'm gonna be walking for any length of time. I'm gonna be wearing a pair of these. Really, really love them. All right, guys, that's it for this video. If you saw something you like, remember to check the links down in the description. I try to find you some good deals. And when you purchase through those links, it actually helps support the channel. So thanks for doing that. And I'd love to hear from you guys too. What gear are you digging? What's in your pockets lately? Let us know down in the comments. We'll keep the conversation going and find some recommendations that everybody can go check out. So that's it for this video. As always, if you dug the video, be sure to hit the like button because it helps the channel out a ton, and subscribe if you want to see more cool gear like this. I'll see you guys next time.